Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Devil card. This is the goat, right? This is a driving force. You are somebody who is motivated right now. You are somebody who is driven, right, to a goal, to some sort of gratification, some sort of success or achievement. You want something, right? I think you're somebody that for a long time you kind of you denied yourself like the opportunities, you denied yourself it's like you never really gave yourself permission to go after it, whatever it is. I think right now you're kind of saying like, you know what, I've put things on hold for too long. I feel an ambition, I feel a motivation, and I'm going to go with it. I'm going to get what I want in life, whatever it is, you know. We're going to climb to the top of that mountain. The goat wants something, and is going to do anything it can to get it. And I think that you're somebody with a lot of drive right now. Maybe that you've spent a lot of your life kind of not very motivated or not giving ourselves permission to be motivated, yeah. But now with this card, it seems that we have our sights set on something, and we're going to climb. We're concentrated. This is the engine of the car. Yeah. This is our creative drive, but also our aggressive drive and our pleasure drive. Okay? And so I think we have to understand how those three drives work together and lead us toward achievement. Right? The creative drive is this kind of top-level executive kind of order that's coming down and saying, this is what I want to do in my life. It's a noble cause. It's a creative expression. It is a sense of purpose or destiny. There's a kind of a noble reason, right? The aggressive drive and the pleasure drive are kind of what we need to support that main motivation. Whatever it is you're trying to create in your life or the life that you're trying to create, we've got to be a little bit assertive, right? We need a little bit of that aggressive drive, which is really a sense of agency, sense of confidence, a sense of I have every right to pursue this for my life. And we need a little bit of that pleasure drive. It kind of says, it feels good, you know? It feels good to do it. That's not the top drive, right? The pleasure drive is not the end-all and be-all saying, if it feels good, I'm going to do it. No, but it's saying my creative drive, which is the top level. The creative drive's at the top. The pleasure drive and the aggressive drive are working together to get us to that creative place, to get us to that achievement. Okay? They're subordinate to the creative or the generative drive. That's what this card is all about. Sometimes we let the aggressive drive take over, and we're fighting with everybody. We're not getting along. We got no friends. Sometimes we let the pleasure drive take over. Okay, then if it feels good, I'm doing it. So I got a lot of friends, but I'm not satisfied. There's no fulfillment there. Maybe you're left with a little bit of shame or guilt at the end of that, you know. But we have to enjoy the process. If we don't enjoy the journey, we're not going to do it. And if we don't believe that we're allowed to, we don't give ourselves permission to do it, we don't have that confidence or that assertiveness, then obviously we're not going to do it. And if we don't have that top-level creative or generative drive, we're not actually doing anything. We're just running around in a circle. We're just making lateral moves between aggression and pleasure. Boom, 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 boom. Instead of going up to what really matters and achieving that goal that really matters. And I feel like you've got you've got that goal, and yeah, it's going to feel good. And yeah, you've got to assert yourself. You know, you've got to have that confidence. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Context is everything after all. There we got the 7 of Pentacles. We have a 2 of Swords, a 10 of Pentacles, a 4 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, I think this is more about the aggressive drive than it is the pleasure drive today because of our 7 and 7, right? The earth and the fire. Over here we have the 10 of Wands. But then we've got pleasure as well. We've got a 3 of Cups. We have a Tower. Look at that. And we have, oh, it is about the pleasure. The 9 of Cups. It's about the happiness. It's not just about I'm chasing pleasure. It's about I'm trying to create something in my life that's going to make me long-term, super abundant happiness. Okay? You really are, you're pursuing something that matters here. Okay? It's really something that matters. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard. Right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we see 2 major arcana energies. The creative devil card, the destructive tower card. Okay? Creation, destruction. Sometimes we know that things have to be destroyed so that they can be built up. Sometimes we have to know that there are blockages that need to come down, walls that need to come down so that we can be free. The goat right now maybe feels like it's locked up in a pen. We got to take down those walls. Let's free the goat. Right? Free the goat. Hashtag free the goat. The tower is also abrupt change. Okay, the Tower is going to be, I think, a life-changing moment. I think that this is a very abrupt change in your life. The Tower is always a moment of novelty. And I think that the Tower this is like a moment that you're going to remember. That's what the Tower moments are, these moments in our life of novelty. It's kind of like usually we have the Death card. Slow and steady change over the course of time. Then we get these moments of really, feels like really sudden and abrupt change. These moments of true novelty where we are fully salient and present. These are where memories are created. The Tower moments in life, right? They always feel kind of chaotic. Usually they're for our highest good, right? Sometimes not. Sometimes it doesn't feel like they're really for our benefit, right? It just feels like chaos. But these are the stories that we're going to tell our kids and our grandkids, you know? These are the moments in life that we remember. The Tower moments are those moments where we are fully aware, fully awake, fully present, fully immersed in our senses, fully in touch with what we're doing. And there's usually an emotional connection, and that's how a memory is created. These are the moments in life that we remember, okay? And I think that this is going to be one of those moments for you. It's a moment you will never forget. The Tower, it looks chaotic, it looks destructive. Usually this is about us getting away from something, freeing ourselves from something, tearing down a wall, getting past a blockage. We see the 7 of Pentacles is a blockage right here. So to me, the Tower is this event, the Tower moment, the Tower event is going to be when this wall comes down. It's going to be a moment you never forget. Okay, I think this is a blockage of perhaps not giving yourself permission, perhaps not believing in yourself. Okay, we have our 2 majors. We have fire, fire. We've got water, water. Air, air. Earth, earth. 2, 2, 2, and 2. And to me, that binary energy is kind of saying you either do it or you don't. You either stay where you are and you learn to like what you have and be content with where you are and what you're doing, or you move forward. Okay? And I think that devil energy is getting a little restless in the pen, getting a little too big for that pen that we're in. and is starting to get a little restless, and starting to push against the walls and saying, okay, let me out of here. I want something. I want something more. I want to achieve something. I want to fight for something. I want to feel alive. I want to create a tower moment. I want to create a moment in my life that I will never forget. And to do that, I've got to tear these walls down that are trying to keep me locked up. And I got to get out there and I got to experience something in life. I have to do something, apply myself to something in life that's going to make me feel alive. That's going to give me that salience, that 100%, immersive experience with all my senses and with my emotions, and my mind, my heart, my body are going to be present. My soul and spirit are going to be alive and activated, and that's creating a memory. That's how memories are like literally created, because it's a moment in time that we are fully aware. And the more senses we can be aware of, the more sensory input we sort of allow ourselves to focus on, to be aware of that input, the stronger the memory. If there's an emotional tie here, even stronger memory. Okay? This is the moment we're going to remember in our lives as the moment everything changed. Okay? With your willpower and your focus and your confidence, your aggressive drive, your pleasure drive activated in service to the generative drive. That's important. Okay? We've got to do this with a sense of purpose. So that becomes our 7 of Pentacles here. This is the card of failure. Okay? The obstacle for you is to get over this feeling. This is the obstacle. This is the blockage. These are the walls that have to come down. It's this wall of failure. And maybe it's saying like, well, I tried to do something and it didn't work. Maybe this is, kind of like I had these aspirations and I sort of, I got my butt handed to me. This is like a moment where we fall down on the mat. We get thrown down. And in a way, sometimes we just kind of stay there. We just say, well, maybe I don't have that confidence anymore. Every time we experience a loss or a failure or a defeat, we tend to end up getting our feelings hurt. We end up getting discouraged. We sort of lose a little bit of our motivation. Yeah, or a lot of our motivation. Get thrown down on the mat. Something in me wants to stay down. Okay? So I think that you've maybe been feeling that way lately, that something has gone wrong or something has not been successful. This is now a little f failure. This is something that we planted some seeds and they didn't grow. Do we just abandon the garden? Or do we try again? Right? The devil energy is saying, let me at him. Put me back in. Put me back in. Let me try again. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And that's what we have to do. We have to get over this failure, this blockage. It's trying to keep us down. Okay? And so that's your quest. This is the battlefield right now, is to pick yourself back up and get fired up again and believe in yourself. So give yourself some permission to try again. Give yourself permission to want this. And we want it, and that's the kind of aggressive drive and the pleasure drive. I want it so bad. It's going to feel so good to get up and do it and to make progress or to succeed at this. It's going to feel so good that I have to do it. Like we're motivating ourselves, getting ourselves pumped up, you see. And that's the quest before you now. How do we stand up again? How do we kind of pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, and get it going again? Let's let this goat out of the pen. It wants this. I feel like that's what's going on here. You're so motivated here that it doesn't matter in a way how many times we get thrown down. We're getting right back up again because we're hungry, because we want this. Okay, I don't know what it is. This could be something like a relationship. It could be a family thing. It could be something at work, at home, at school. It could be a career thing. It could be a life path, a sport. It could be a hobby. It could be a friendship. It could be a creative project. It doesn't really matter what it is. What matters is that you are driven and motivated to overcome whatever obstacles are in your way right now. Spirit wants you to overcome this obstacle. Tear down this wall and believe that this is the day everything changes. This is a moment for you, Tower moment. This is a moment that's going to go down in history in your life. Now, underneath the surface, you have the Two of Swords. It's the card of choice, isn't it? It's the card that says, well, I need to decide if I'm going to do this or not. Down inside of you, there is, I think, a little bit of, I just don't know, right? We haven't yet given ourselves permission. We haven't yet given ourselves the green light that says, okay, I'm going to go after this. I'm going to do it. We're still kind of on the fence. We're still calculating. We're still unsure. Okay. And I think the secret of this choice is really in the lunar crescent at the top of the card there, showing that intuition. That there's kind of saying there's always going to be a reason to not do something. Yeah. And it may be that we kind of feel that we understand that aggressive drive a little bit, and we just say, oh, that's not me. I'm not an aggressive person. I'm not an ambitious person. I don't really like go out of my way to be known or be heard or like assert myself, And so we might be, there might be something in us that's saying, no, I'm not supposed to be that way. I'm supposed to be just chill and easygoing and relaxed, and instead of being autonomous and and having that sense of agency. But the intuition, I think, is telling you something else, because there's always going to be a reason to not do it. The mind is very good at talking us out of everything we want to do. Very good at it. And the Two, to me, this is not so much the card of choice. This is the card of multiplication. Reminds us that thoughts beget thoughts, beget thoughts, beget thoughts. The more we think about something, the more we think about something. And that doesn't help us at all. We end up, what do we get when we do 4 multiplied by 2, right? We double up on the 4, we get the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is analysis paralysis. This is all earth and fire energy here. This is manifestation. This is your horizontal path. Earth, Capricorn, earth, fire. Passion, right? Bring in the heat. But on both sides you have, I'm considering, I don't know, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. And that's slowing us down. That's keeping us locked in on that 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles, instead of being just a little F failure, oh, I fell down, I just got to get up, keep going, because I want it so bad. This becomes a big F failure. Right now I feel like a failure. I'm a failure. No, we're not. The only failure is to stay down on the mat. Right? The only sin is to kind of hold that goat energy inside that pen, not let it out. Okay? You have a potential here. And I think that we recognize that failures are part of the process, obviously, We're going to run into these blockages, but if we allow those blockages to consume us, and we identify with that blockage, then it kind of feels like now I'm the failure, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not working, right? And this becomes a real squandering of our potential. So the Two of Swords here, it has to be in a way we got to we have to in a way turn off the mind and just run on instinct. Yeah. Turn off the mind, run on instinct. The mind can be at peace. I like this card because it is peace of mind. I think that's what you're looking for in life. I think that by you not pursuing something in your life right now, you're not really feeling that great mentally. We're probably not sleeping well at night. There's something we're always stewing about something. We feel a little bit of anxiety. We're sleeping like a baby. Because we now are learning that we can just run on instinct here. I'm just going to let this energy flow. I don't need to overthink it. I can put my mind at ease. Giving ourselves permission, realizing that there's nothing wrong with wanting something and having this ambition and having this desire of having an aggressive drive and a pleasure drive in service to a generative drive. It's our human nature. It's how we do anything in life, right? It's that magical kind of trio of energy. It's a 3 of Pentacles. It's a 3 of Wands. It's a 3 of Cups. It could be a 3 of Swords, where we feel guilty for wanting something. We feel guilty for having, a desire for some sort of achievement in life. So we got to make the choice to give ourselves permission and then be at peace. Okay. The 10 of Pentacles in the background here, that's something in the past. Okay, it's a card of wealth. It's a card of richness. It's a card of perhaps having physical goals in life. Okay, this is always the picture of the best life. And I feel like this is something that you once wanted in life. This was like, I dream of a life like this. This is the pets, the plants, the people. I dream of it all. This is what I wanted. This is what I have now. Am I supposed to just be content with this? Or can I resurrect this dream of mine? Can I resurrect this picture of my best life? You have a reminder of that picture somewhere, don't you? There's something that you have somewhere in your things that that is a symbol of this goal or this life that you wanted. Yeah? I don't know what it could be. It's a poster, or maybe it's a painting or a picture. Maybe it's like a brochure. I don't know. Maybe it's something in your journal or notebook. Or postcard, maybe. You still have something. You still have that. I think you need to get that out again. If you don't have it, draw it again. Get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, draw a picture of your best life. Because this can still be your goal. This can still be your future. In fact, we see now we're living the good life here with that 9 of Cups, right? So I feel like we need to resurrect these goals. And we need to let ourselves strive for them. We don't have to accept this as our quality of life, or as our station in life, or as the furthest that we can go. I think part of your goal here is to alleviate suffering for yourself and others, and to improve the quality of life for yourself and others. You're trying to generate something. Maybe we're trying to generate money. Remember, we're trying to generate or create long-term wealth, okay? Or physical health. Maybe this is a physical goal for you. Maybe this is saying, well, yeah, you know what? One day, back in the day, I had this goal of really being fit. And now I kind of I lost the motivation. And now I'm just stuck here because I'm not as fit as I could be. And now I'm just kind of trying to learn how to accept that. Well, the goat is saying, let me out of here. Give me something to do. I want to do it. I want to get that goal again. We don't have to just accept this. But I wonder if that's what our 4 of Swords is up here in the, whoops, knocked Jimbo over. Wouldn't be the first time. The 4 of Swords at the top here. This could be us trying to convince ourselves that this is as far as I have gone in life, and that's okay. I don't need anything more than this. This is kind of us trying to make peace with something. It's a card called Truce. It's not true peace. It's just saying, I'm choosing not to fight. It's not a peace treaty. It's a ceasefire. Okay? And in our life, this means that I don't agree with this. I don't believe that this should be the end, but I've chosen to give up. I've chosen to just be content with not fighting for this, by not pursuing this, right? So this is kind of that fence that we're putting around the goat. And we're saying, I know you had aspirations. I know you had goals and ambitions. I know that you were once very motivated, but, there's enough of that. We don't need to do that anymore, So I feel like in this case, this is us. Like we know we have a higher potential here, but this is us trying to convince ourselves that, nah, I'm not going to do it. And it makes us ask, well, why? Somebody around you might say, why? Why aren't you just going to do it? Why aren't you going to pursue that? You're just going to go after your dream. Aren't you going to try to get, your best life? And I don't think we have a very good reason not to. I mean, we can make up a lot of things. Sometimes this is the card of excuses. I'm just going to say it. Yeah. I think what you're doing is you are not making excuses anymore. I think you are giving yourself permission. You're getting major green lights. And you're just going to go. You're getting out of the cage. You're getting out of this. You're getting out of the chain link fence around the goat. Okay. You're giving yourself permission. Saying, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I don't have a good excuse. I'm just going to go do it. I'm going to pursue this. I'm letting myself free. I'm giving myself permission to pursue whatever this is. And now in the future position, you have a 7 of Wands. That is Mars in Leo. Okay, that's the next step for you. Get mad, get fired up. Pick a battle. The 7 of Wands is very often like saying, okay, you got to choose your battles. Yeah, you have to choose one. Don't choose none. I'm choosing no battle at all. No, Spirit wants you to choose something. You want something in life. You have a desire, an aspiration, a dream, a hope, a wish. Go after it. Yeah, go after it. This is like, sometimes this is the hill that we're going to die on, Sometimes this is the block. This is us not giving up on getting through that blockage. It may feel like the obstacle is much more powerful than we are. But we're not going to quit no matter what. I'm not giving up on this. Because this is like, what other purpose in life is there than to pursue that act of creation, right? That devil energy, that is a creative energy. It's your creative drive. And we give up on that, and we're giving up on our power. We're choosing defeat. This is that card of like, I may not be stronger than this thing. This is kind of a David and Goliath card. I mean, maybe I'm not stronger. I'm not as tall as everybody else. I'm not as smart as everybody else, but I have heart. And it's a 7. And the 7 is a number of Venus. And that Venus is that love, that passion. Because I want something so bad, I have such heart, I'm not going to give up. And you're going to succeed because you are activating that. You have the generative drive at the top with the subordinate, aggressive, and pleasure drives, supporting that creative drive. Okay? So this is that aggressive drive. This is your sense of agency. This is your autonomy. That is your confidence. This is your Mars in Leo energy. That I'm going to do it, nothing is going to stop me. Yeah. And of course, you have your pleasure drive over here with the 3 of Cups, yeah. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are totally free, and it really supports the channel when you subscribe, and I appreciate that. Okay. The 10 of Wands as your general energy. This is a lot of effort, okay? This is right now, I think, a feeling of exhaustion. This is the feeling of maybe frustration. This may feel like we, it's kind of like when that goat is inside that pen, and it's not just sleeping, it's not just resting, it's like shaking the bars. It's like banging its head against the walls, and it's just like it's yelling and screaming, trying to get out of there. You ever heard a goat scream? It's trying to get out. And so I wonder if you're kind of feeling like literally a fatigue, a soreness, an ache, pain, tension. Tension in your jaw, tension in your back and neck. If we're feeling run down, we're feeling exhausted and fatigued, not because we're out there living our life and pursuing our goals with our driving force, It's like the engine is just, the engine's in the car, and the engine is just like revving, burning a lot of gas, but you don't have the car in gear. It's like you're sitting in your driveway, you're sitting in the parking lot, and the engine's running, and you got your foot on the gas, vroom, 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 but you don't have the car in gear. Remember when they used to have the gear shift on the steering column? Those were great. Without the car in gear, we're burning a lot of gas, but we're not making any progress. Okay? I feel like your Seven of Wands is you putting the car in gear. Because I feel like literally you have physical ailments, aches and pains, joint pain, right? Stiffness and tension and like up here somewhere. Yeah. And Spirit's saying something about sandalwood incense for you. I don't know if that's a perfume that you enjoy. Okay. And in your life, there was a fight at some point in your life over like a contract or some sort of inheritance or something that you thought you were supposed to get, but you didn't get it. I wonder if that's what we're doing here. I wonder if this was something that you were supposed to get. This is something that you didn't get it. And instead of just acquiescing and saying, okay, well, I guess I didn't get it, you're saying, no, I got to fight for it. I deserve it. I'm going to go get it. Okay. So I don't know if there's something of a legal nature here or some kind of a, maybe it could be a family thing, I guess. I'm not really sure, yeah. Sometimes we're being told not to fight. Sometimes the conflict is unnecessary. Sometimes peace comes through yielding, but not this time. This time, your inner peace is going to come through knowing that you did everything you could to get what you deserve, and not giving up and not acquiescing and not just yielding and saying, okay, fine, I don't want it anymore. Yeah, you do. Maybe that's what the Four of Swords is saying. I don't want it anymore. But you do, really. And I think that the Ten of Wands is you really feeling the frustration, physically feeling the frustration of this situation, okay? Now, in the environment, you have this pleasure. This is abundance. This is joy and jubilation. We want to celebrate. And I think this is that pleasure drive that we're talking about. I want to feel good. I want to feel the celebration. I know what that would be like in my heart. I want to feel good. I want the joy of knowing that I'm succeeding or that I'm at least, fighting back and pushing hard and striving for this. And I think this is a very good thing to want. Okay? I think this is maybe recognition. This is appreciation. We want to feel I did something and I feel proud of that. That I went after. So this is Mercury in Cancer. This is us having the awareness to be able to communicate what we want. This is us having a desire and saying, I want this. And if I want this, I got to take my Three of Cups out to the world and find the corresponding Three of Cups out there. I got to find what's going to satisfy, what is going to mesh, what's going to be compatible with my desire. I got to find whatever it is I'm looking for, a 3 and a 3, coming together, making a 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is pleasure of success. It's feeling like I won and it feels good, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with feeling good about a win, And so we have that desire, and now this is taking us out into the world, out into the environment, to get that, to fulfill this, to feel this, right? So I think this is a very motivating thing. And our desires are intensely motivating. Now the Tower, that's in the position of the fear, worry, concern, and the anxiety. It's going to be a life-changing moment. I mean, it's kind of the moment where we stand up and we say, I'm not going to take it anymore. It may feel like it is chaos. It may feel like there's a lot of instability. Something really shakes us to our core. This is a moment of novelty. This is a surge of energy that breaks down barriers. This is, we let that goat out, and that goat is just running wild and crazy. And it may feel that a lot of things in our life are going to change. and it sort of makes us nervous. Okay? This is usually a breakthrough. This is usually something that's being liberated in you. We're liberating the goat. Free the goat, free the goat. Okay? This is a liberation of energy, a taking down walls, things that have prevented us from being our true selves, from pursuing our true goals or following our true will. We're eliminating those, usually like mental obstacles, mental or emotional obstacles, beliefs about ourselves, beliefs about the world around us, okay, that are preventing us from fulfilling our nature, fulfilling our potential. Okay. Sometimes the personality resists change. Okay. Sometimes we justify staying the same, and that's the Four of Swords. We just say, well, it's too difficult. It's gonna just be too. I don't want to go through all that excitement, really, right? I don't want to go through all those changes. If I do something, if I stand up for myself, if I bring the heat here, it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of activity. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be chaos. I'd rather just have relative peace, not actual peace, but the truce instead of real peace. Okay. So we have to go through that tower. Like, this needs to happen if we're going to get real peace and real success and abundance, superabundance with our 9. I think this is what you're pursuing. You're pursuing your happiness. And it's worth it to pursue that. That is a deep feeling of satisfaction and meaning and purpose. It's living a purposeful life. Over here, we feel like a failure. Over here, we feel like a success. We feel happiness. Feel like I'm living my life the way I was meant to live it, instead of just staying inside the box. Now, have you been dreaming of a white owl? I think, or just maybe a white bird. I don't know if it's an owl, but a white bird, yeah. This is a 3 of Cups on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. 3, 3, and 3. So this is something that maybe it's a pleasure on the physical plane. It's going to satisfy you spiritually as well. Maybe this is something of a financial nature, and that financial satisfaction, the financial win, is going to be good for you mentally and emotionally, physically, and spiritually, creatively. Okay, everything is connected with everything else. Things being satisfied and fulfilled and abundant in one dimension is having a ripple effect, a compounding effect, really, in other dimensions of your life. Superabundance. Something so good that it permeates every aspect of your life. Yeah. This is worth it, and this is what you want. This is your pleasure drive. Yeah. So I think that you are creating change here. You're bringing the heat. You're getting fired up. Let's look at our mystery card. This is position 11, the guide. And this represents the voice of the silence within you. It very often shows us the character qualities that we need to develop in order to walk the path ahead. Who do we need to become? Well, I think we're going to see probably a lust or strength card, the Leo energy. We might see an emperor. I think it's going to be some fire. I think it's going to be some confidence. Yeah. So if you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Wheel of Fortune. What we need to do is trust. What we need to do is trust that we were meant to achieve these things. Because the Wheel of Fortune is saying that maybe with the 7 of Pentacles, maybe we've been feeling like we've been at the bottom of the wheel, between the rubber and the road. Spirit's telling you to believe that you don't need to stay there. Everybody gets to the bottom of the wheel once in a while. Nobody is really meant to stay there permanently. We have to believe that we are meant for great things. We have to believe that our success and our happiness, our prosperity and profit, our growth and expansion is out there for us, that our destiny awaits. This is a major green light. This is Spirit giving you a lot of green lights. This is Spirit putting a lot of open doorways where there weren't any doors before. This is Spirit putting the right people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them. But you have to initiate contact. Spirit will put all the things in your way that you need. But if you don't recognize it and you don't take advantage of those things, nothing's going to happen. See? We need that sense of agency. We need that aggressive drive and that pleasure drive and that creative drive. Otherwise, Spirit's knocking on our door all day long, but we don't know any better. We're not taking advantage of any of that stuff, any of those resources. Yeah. So we need that fire energy. Spirit's telling you to trust, have faith and hope in this process, that you are not meant to stay at the bottom of the wheel. But we've got to take advantage of the opportunities and the resources, the people, places, and things that are around us. Take advantage of the abundance that's out there in your life. And claim it. Go grab it, grab hold of it, and use it to get yourself to the top of the wheel. Okay? This is the card of abundance. It's in the position of your environment. There is abundance out there for you to claim. There's enough for everybody. There is enough to go around. Okay? Just because you're claiming abundance for yourself doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't get any. Yeah. So we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.